Daily Flicker, July 30, 1935. ABC affair, no problem. In this issue, we are publishing provocative letters sent by the killer to R. Daily Flicker, July the 26th, 1935. The Bexhill Horror. Young maid strangled on the beach. It is not a good time. Hello, Jap. We received a new letter from ABC in the 10 o'clock post.
Where and when?
In Churston. Today.
Today? I'll inform the population immediately.
I'll check the train times. Call me back. It is not a good... Hastings, what you are doing is an absolute disaster. That is no way to pack suitcases.
Heavens, we must hurry!
Hastings, order and method are always necessary, regardless of the circumstances.
Okay.
All the same, it really is a disgrace to leave your belongings in such a mess. Voila! It only took a minute.
Poirot, you were right. I've just consulted the ABC guide. There's no hurry. The next train doesn't leave till 11:45.
You see, there is no need to hurry. We will not be in Churston until tomorrow morning, after the murder.
But why has the murderer warned us so late?
Very good. We should also compare the letter we have just received. Hastings photo album. We've missed the 6:45 train, but we have plenty of time to catch the night train. It is not a good time. I lock my revolver in this drawer. Poor Mr. Poirot. Not so good at these little criminal matters as you thought yourself, are you? Rather past your prime, perhaps? Let us see. It is not a good... Miss Haste. Pour Mr. Poirot. No. Hastings, it would appear that you are getting slightly thin on...
Really?
Right, let us compare this new letter with the second one. Let us examine this more closely. Certain characters in the two letters. Yes, this I is... Yes, the I... I have to find... The W is not printed properly. Of course, the W... I have to find some... Yes, the A... That's right, the A... My theory was right. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. The letter should have arrived in time. The postmark shows that it was sent 3 days ago. However, our man made a mistake in the address, which explains the delay. All the same, the post office took their time correcting the error.
Come on, Poirot. Your address is not quite as well known as that of Scotland Yard. Poirot, the telephone.
I have some news from Churchton. Bad news, I'm afraid. Sir Carmichael Clark was murdered while out on his evening walk.
Sir Carmichael Clark. The name is familiar to me.
He was a famous throat specialist, one of the best in London. A wealthy man, he retired to Combside, a beautiful house by the sea. He collected antiques.
Are you going there?
Yes, let's meet on the train.
The victim is called Sir Carmichael Clark, one of the best throat specialists in London. The body was still warm when we found it. If we'd been warned earlier, we definitely could have saved him.
It appears that the murderer made a mistake when he wrote his letter.
A mistake? Lucky for him.
And what if he did it on purpose?
No. He's defined his madcap rules and he's sticking to them. It's a matter of pride for him. Shall we go up to the house, Poirot?
You go, my friends. I will come soon. This place is very calming. The site is exceptional. It is easy to imagine that Sir Carmichael used to enjoy stopping here every evening. The body is just in front of a bush, one of the only bushes in the surrounding area. The vegetation behind the bush has been trampled. Jap has emptied the victim's pockets and has laid out their contents on this piece of wax cloth. A signet ring, very probably with the Clark family's coat of arms. A signet ring, very probably with the Clark family's coat of arms. Nothing appears to be missing from this wallet. An oriental dragon. It's an old piece, much older than the pocket watch on which it was fastened. It is pointless. The gravel on the path has been sprayed with blood that covers a conical-shaped area, which starts at the bush. It's a clean incision, a signature, covered in blood this time. Apart from the wound to the throat, the body is untouched. No cuts, no bruises. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. Sir Carmichael had his back to the bush when the killer cut the throat from behind. A fatal blow that sprayed blood over a range of more than 1 meter. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Have you finished, Poirot?
Chief Inspector, many questions. The killer has prepared his crime very carefully.
Quite right. He must have known Sir Carmichael's movements well to plan such an attack.
The murderer struck with terrible savagery.
Yes, blood flowed. It's the first time he's attacked a man. He armed himself accordingly.
Have you spoken to the victim's family, Chief Inspector?
I've spoken to the brother of Franklin Clark. I didn't get much out of him. He's yours. I must get the body removed.
To be honest, this inspector seems rather obtuse. I'm counting on your friend Poirot to catch my brother's murderer. Ah, here he is now. Please, Mr. Poirot. Mr. Poirot, this is my brother's secretary, Miss Thora Gray.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Poirot. Would you like some tea?
No, thank you, mademoiselle. I find it hard to digest. There is something elegant about her. She has good taste, except perhaps in her choice of jewelry.
Please excuse me, I have to take care of Lady Clark.
It is a once-in-a-life. It is not the right. It is not the. It is a one.
My brother's wife is gravely ill. You will probably want...
Of course, I understand. Someone set a trap for your brother. Who was familiar with his habits?
Everybody knew he took his evening walk at 8:30, and that he always followed the same path.
And did people of the village know Sir Carmichael's habits?
I don't know. It's possible.
What were you doing last night?
After dinner, I went to my bedroom. At 11 in the evening, the telephone rang. It was the police. I went to look for my brother.
Was it a dark night?
It was a new moon. I took a lantern.
So it was you who found the body?
Yes, along with the gardener.
Have you seen any strangers around the house recently?
No. As far as I know, nobody has been near the house.
Miss Clark.
Oh, Lady Clark must have fallen from her chair. I have to help Miss Gray get her up.
Hastings, while our host is gone, let's examine the drawing room.
But, Poirot, a gentleman shouldn't...
I take full responsibility. All you have to do is to leave the drawing room door ajar and let me know if anyone is coming. I'm not going... The cardinal points. This book could maybe help me. Each cardinal point is associated with one animal and one color. In the middle sits the imperial dragon, and out of respect, all the others are turned towards him. Each cardinal point. Each cardinal point is a turtle, the dragon, the crane and the tiger. I think I've already seen this motif somewhere. It is blocked. It is blocked. The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table. I think I heard a bang. This is interesting. These daggers are only ceremonial weapons. I do not think that the crime weapon is here. Ernest Logan, MD, Brighton Cancer Institute, 201 Dusk Road, Brighton, Sussex. To Sir Carmichael Clark, MD, Comside Churston, Devon. Brighton, 1935, January the 5th. As a man of science, I owe it to you to be completely frank. Lady Clark, your wife is suffering from a generalized terminal cancer. I confess I didn't suspect anything like that during the first exams. But with the test results I have received today, there is unfortunately no place for doubt. I estimate that Lady Clark...
Here's Miss Gray.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Lady Clark...
Indeed. This porcelain is remarkable. Is it old?
It's about 3 centuries old, I believe. Wait, let me find the reference.
It is not the right... She appears to be very flustered. She is unable to hide her emotion, and her makeup has been disturbed. I think that this young woman has just been kissed.
Here? Teapot with black dragon, Gangxi period, end of the 17th century. It is a rare piece with unusual colours.
You have a good knowledge of art history.
Acquired while working with Sir Carmichael. I used to help him manage his collection and choose his new acquisitions.
Was it difficult working for this elderly gentleman?
He wasn't old. Well, I mean...
Did you have a good relationship with your employer?
He treated me well, and I am sorry for his death.
Have you seen any strangers hanging around in the past few days?
No. Nobody has been near Comside.
Tell me what happened last night.
After dinner? Well, I did some sewing, and then I went to bed. I was woken by the telephone at 11. I heard Franklin Clark speaking with the gardener. They left with some lanterns, and they found the body.
Why do you hate Franklin Clark?
But why would I hate him?
Miss Gray, if I may be so bold, please...
Yes, I understand.
Earlier, you asked me to watch the living room door for you. I don't wish to be indiscreet, but sometimes a gentleman...
That is sometimes the case.
And I saw Frank...
Do you think this is a common occurrence?
No,
Well done, mon ami. Well spotted. The murderer did not give him a... Sir Clark is taking his customary walk. Our killer is hiding behind a bush. The old man walks quietly along the gravel path. Then he turns towards the sea to gaze at it.
The killer leaves his hiding place on the left-hand side. He walks over the gravel on the path. The noise alerts Sir Clark, who turns around.
No, Sir Clark was attacked by surprise. He could not see his assailant. Let us think again, mon cher. Sir Clark is taking his customary walk. Our killer is hiding behind a bush. The old man walks quietly along the gravel path. Then he turns towards the sea to gaze at it. The killer leaves his hiding place on the right-hand side. He approaches silently over the grass. Then he throws himself on his prey and cuts the poor man's throat. He then lays down the ABC before leaving. Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Oh, just a minute. I'm getting dressed.
Mr. Kirst, have you recently returned from Churston?
Yes. Indeed I have.
Have you seen the papers? And to think that you might have rubbed shoulders with the killer. Imagine that. Mr. Kirst, are you all right? You don't seem well.
My apologies. My throat is burning and my head feels heavy. It's ever since the war, you know. Since my injury, my head has never been the same.
Poirot, it's a pleasure to be with you again after all these years. I looked for a gift to thank you, and I found this propelling pencil.
An authentic collector's item. You spoil me, mon ami.
And you more so by sharing investigations.
Do not underestimate the help you are to me, Hastings. Intellect is not everything. There is also goodwill, and you are not short of that. Later, I will ask you to help me tidy up the room and bring some chairs. Our guest will be here soon.
Ah, is Thora Grey coming?
Naturally. She is a fascinating young woman, n'est-ce pas?
Oh, come on, Poirot. I'm a married man. And Miss Grey has already been courted by Franklin Clark. Poirot, our guests will be here soon. We must prepare ourselves.
I should take advantage of the silence to examine them. Donald is always on edge.
Leave me alone.
Donald Fraser is very nervous at the moment, even if he is trying hard to control himself. She appears to have taken more care with her appearance than the last time. She's looking at Mr. Fraser out of the corner of her eye. Did she make herself beautiful for him? Sometimes I love a brunette, sometimes I love a blonde. Sometimes I love... Sometimes... The song says, sometimes I love a blonde who comes from Eden by way of... Franklin Clark always seems at ease, regardless of where he is. Something that's unique to people who travel. Franklin Clark always seems at ease. I ought to consent. I wish to thank you all for coming. I wanted to bring everyone close to the victims here in order to unmask the murderer.
Get to the point, Mr. Poirot. What do you want from us?
You are an intelligent woman, Mademoiselle Barnard, and I'm sure that you have already understood my intentions.
You think that if we put our heads together, we might come up with something new?
I am convinced of it. What I ask is that you search your memories. The murderer must have left some trace.
Yes, he must have prepared his crimes very carefully.
Tout à fait. He did not get to Bexhill at midnight in order to strangle a young girl whose name by chance starts with B.
Must we go into that?
No, of course. Not if it makes you uncomfortable.
Come on, Mr. Poirot. I imagine we all feel terribly uncomfortable about these murders.
It's true. We've to catch the killer, not be spared the gory details.
Mr. Fraser, please get a grip on yourself.
Well, I want to help you, but I don't remember anything else. Nothing I haven't already said.
And you, Mademoiselle Barnard? Did your sister say she was seeing another man?
She never would have told me.
Why would she hide the fact from you?
Betty knew I didn't approve of her behaviour. Her flirting was spoiling any chance she might have had.
Tell me, mademoiselle, what did you talk about with your sister?
Silly things. Her new dress. She wanted a pair of black stockings to go with it. Mother...
Your sister used to sing.
She dreamt about it, but she had a very bad cough. It troubled her greatly. She had to cancel auditions and miss lots of opportunities. A pity.
Yes, she sang well, but...
Qui sait? In any case, we now have enough information to draw up a relatively precise psychological profile. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. So, ladies and gentlemen, we can now surmise without too much risk of error that our adversary is calculative, sure of himself, a seducer, of outstanding intelligence, that he has plenty of self-control, and that he likes railways. It's a good start. Other meetings may be necessary. I hope that you will be able to come back again.
Well, it's just that...
Is something bothering you, Mary?
Well, Mr. Poirot, you see, I don't know if I can come to London just like that.
It's normal that people helping with this inquiry should be reimbursed. Starting with you, Miss Drower. Please allow me to pay for your train tickets.
Oh, sir, I cannot accept.
But you must. Mademoiselle, I may not be rich, but my brother left a fortune which will be mine.
Mr. Clark, that's very generous of you.
Well, someone has to foot the bill. Mr. Poirot, would it be possible for you to come back to Devon? Lady Clark has expressed a wish to see you. We'll adjust her medicine so she'll not be too drowsy.
But of course, I shall come the day after tomorrow if it is convenient. Thank you all for coming. We will meet again soon. The meeting was most fruitful.
Really?
Hastings, I believe now we have everything we need to find a common point between the victims. Now it is time for us to use our grey matter. Let us now try and get our... The first two victims suffered from bad throat, and that was precisely the specialty of the third victim, Dr. Clark.
We have a lead.
It would pay to take a closer look at the medical records of Dr. Clark's patients.
We'll do so during our next visit to Churston.
I will do it myself, mon ami. You must remain in London just in case ABC sends us another letter.
Very well, as you wish. Thank you for coming, Mr. Poirot. Lady Clark is waiting for you in her bedroom on the first floor. Please excuse me, I cannot stay for the interview. I've to take Miss Gray to the station to see our lawyer in Torquay.
Are you going on holiday, mademoiselle?
Not exactly, Mr. Poirot.
Miss Gray very kindly stayed with me to settle my brother's affairs, but naturally she prefers to find a position in London.
Ah, très bien.
I'll be absent all morning, Mr. Poirot, but the nurse is coming soon. She's to ensure that the dose of medicine doesn't make our patient drowsy.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Have a nice trip, mademoiselle. It is now the right time. It would be rude to make Lady Clark wait any longer. This poor woman is very ill. This woman is suffering. She is in no state to have a conversation.
Mr. Poirot?
My respects, madame.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. How...
The telephone in the hall is ringing. The Clark residence. Detective Hercule Poirot speaking.
How do you do, Mr. Poirot? I'm Lady Clark's nurse. I wanted to let you know that I won't be able to come for her injection today. Might Miss Gray be able to do it?
She has just left, but I will take care of it.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. You'll find the skeleton key to open the medicine cabinet hidden in the lion trophy.
You can count on me. Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Oh, thank you kindly. Goodbye, Mr. Poirot.
Here is the skeleton key. April 1925, Aceh Province, Sumatra. It is not the right time. Lady Clark is in pain.
Please tell the nurse.
This woman is suffering. She is in no state to have a conversation.
Ah,
You asked for me, chère madame.
yes. Yes, of course, I wish to speak with you. But what was it about?
No doubt. You wish to talk to me about what happened to your husband?
Ah, yes. Oh, poor Carmichael. Has the madman who killed him been caught?
Not yet, chère madame. There was a great many people in Cheston on the day of the murder.
Indeed. People go straight to the beach. They don't come near Coomside.
So, there were no strangers around the house that day?
Who said that?
The people who live here. Your brother-in-law, Miss Gray.
Miss Gray? Oh, I don't like her. Franklin wanted her to stay, but I insisted she should go. Immediately.
You are entitled to do so, naturally.
I'm pleased that you approve. The others have been taken in by her. But at least you can see through that self-pity act. See what she's up to. Oh.
She is sleeping. I must find... This subject will probably be useful to me. I have to put a new spring here. I hope that Hastings will not be cross with me. This part appears to be working. This couple appears to be having fun. Lady Clark and Sir Carmichael were very happy, but they did not have any children. This subject will... This subject will... I hope that Hastings will not...
Oh, what are we talking about? Ah, yes, Thora Grey. Oh, Carmichael had great esteem for her, but for me she was nothing but a hypocrite.
Miss Grey was a hard worker, though.
Thank goodness. Fortunately, she was good at her job. I don't see why you all think you should have to defend that girl.
You are very harsh. Do not forget that the girl is an orphan.
Yes, and she used the fact to get around men. Take Franklin. He's fallen for her sweet-talking charms. Oh, he's a lovely boy, very plucky and sure of himself. But so naive, oh, when it comes to women.
Franklin really idealized Miss Grey.
Absolutely. It's so good to see that you all agree with me.
Miss Grey did look after you very well, though.
Outwardly. But she's hiding something. I think she tried to poison me.
Miss Grey? A poisoner? But everybody appears to like her.
It proves she knows what she's doing. She's manipulative and she's a liar.
A liar?
Let's see, didn't she say that on the day of the crime nobody was around Coomside?
That is correct.
Well, at 11 o'clock I saw her talking to someone.
Really? And what was this man like?
An ordinary sort of man with a very plain face. Oh, I don't remember well.
Was he a gentleman?
No, he was not a gentleman.
It would be best to leave her to sleep now. The telephone in the hall is ringing. Hello?
Poirot, is that you? Hastings here.
Thank you for calling. Have you received a new letter from the murderer?
No, thank goodness. How are things in Churston?
I questioned Lady Clark, but I will not leave until I have examined everything of interest to me here. Fortunately, Franklin is absent. and I have a skeleton key.
Have you seen Thora Grey again?
Briefly. But rest assured, I intend to summon her to London soon.
She's a fascinating girl.
But secretive.
Poirot, she wouldn't have...
Each to his own, my friend. Yours are pretty orphans among old ladies that have the maladies.
Poirot, are you mocking me?
No ill intended, rest assured. À bientôt, mon ami. How am I going to open this trunk? Let us examine it. Leaving the code on the trunk. What a strange character Franklin is. So, what is this sound? I should be able to open the trunk now. There we are. A pile of books, including one about... whiskey and other good quality drinks. Why has Franklin put an Allen key inside his trunk? Whiskey and other good quality. This drawer has... a pile of books. A pile of books. An Allen key. It can be used in 5 positions. An Allen key. It can be used. Another screw. This engraving is not very easy to understand. I need to sort it out. It is blocked. Franklin must really love his country to have an engraving in his trunk. I think I heard the... A signet ring? A signet ring with a code written on it. 1587. It may be useful to me. The black dragon's curse to Franklin, who will never grow up. Miss Thorogray, Comside, Chuston, Devon. Arsenic trioxide. The door is locked. This unit contains the medical records for Sir Carmichael Clark's patient. No dust on the records from A to D. They've been handled recently. No known names. Lots of dust. No known names. Sir Carmichael's collection could rival. Comside's private... The catalogue. Traditional Chinese map. Facsimile. South is on the top of the map. There are some very valuable... Compass, point to the south. Bronze and magnetite, Han Dynasty, circa 210 BC, purchased. I've already seen similar daggers. A dark dragon for a bright-haired maid. C. Attention, Franklin. Task list. A. Ordering Lady Clark remedies. Done. B. Tidying up real estate property files. Done. C. Calling the lawyer about inventory. Done. D. Update the tenant-farmer list. Done. E. Update land rent accounting. Done. F. Ordering a restock of arsenic. Done. P.S. Order and method above all. February 19. July 1920. Franklin appears to be very active. Franklin Clark appears to be a typical British gentleman, a good sportsman, a hunter, a traveller. Four Chinese symbols are engraved on this padlock. A signet ring bears I won't manage to do it randomly. Well, the characters engraved on this disc resemble those engraved on the padlock. That's it. This character appears to be the right way round. Like this character appears to be the right way round. Like this character. Like this character. No, it's not the right code. Let us check the Chinese characters again. At last, the cupboard is open. Helmet, flask, and rifles. Franklin is very well equipped. Gentle and wild. The Railway Children, E. Nesbit. For Franklin. Und Heffis Traveling in China. This plate appears to be able to move, but I think that signet ring should be placed here. The plates around the picture appear to have unlocked. I think I've already seen these symbols on Franklin's trophies. The New Siberia Archipelago. Alaska. Australia. February 1922, South. July 1920, Alaska Peninsula. The plates around the picture appear to have unlocked. I think I've already seen these symbols on Franklin's trophies. The Alaskan Kodiak bear. The African kudu. April 1925, Aceh Province, Sumatra. Appear to have unlocked. I think I've already seen these symbols on Franklin's trophies. the Lion of Sumatra. The African kudu. The Alaskan Kodiak bear. I heard the sound of a strange way of protecting one's safe. A signet ring bearing the... These documents are very likely going to help me. A dozen gold sovereigns. Some shares for the Southern Railway and some treasury bills. This is not worth much, hardly enough to justify. Charlotte Clark, Comside, Churston, Devon. To Mr. Franklin Clark, Peninsula Hotel, Salisbury Road, Chim Sha Tsui, Kowloon, Hong Kong, Comside. I wish you with all my heart a happy year 1935. Writing my greeting cards, I have affectionate thoughts for you. Always smiling as a child, sailing to distant... At home, everything annoys me, starting with this young Thora Sir Carmichael is so fond of. I have nobody to share my feelings with, so I opened the secret drawer of Carmichael and read a letter not addressed to me. Sir, I know, but my husband doesn't know I know. Please don't tell him. And if he shares the truth with you, act as you are supposed. It does matter to me that you are aware of what happened. Sir Carmichael Clark, Comside, Churston, Devon, to Mr. Franklin Clark. Dear Franklin, first, I wish you a good start to a successful new year. Things go on here much as usual. Charlotte is moderately free from pain. I wish one could say more. She has an exquisite taste and shares my passion for Chinese art. No daughter could be a closer or more sympathetic companion. Life has been... You wrote me you want to stay in China for one more year or even longer. I don't object. I am, dear... Eton College School Year 1912-19... School report for Franklin Clark. Best to... I am not going to leave Order and method of... I see some papers that were not there the first time I visited. Valuers report property. Building land located in Comside, Churston client, Sir Carmichael Clark, April 15. Court and Brunskill. The name is familiar. Is that not the name of the firm Donald Fraser works for? Valuers report. Ernest Logan, MD, Brighton Cancer Institute. Lady Clark, your wife is suffering from a generalized... I estimate that Lady Clark... These daggers are only... Where is the horrible smell of carrion coming from? Something makes me feel... Brown pellets. Revolting. Tut-tut. The gardener does not follow the alignment. There, that's better. There. This fountain... This wisteria is in full... May you have peace, Carmichael. It was probably the gardener who lit this fire. Look here. I want this object with pop. Let us now try and... Everything that Thorgray has left behind comes from Sir Carmichael's collection. Leave them here. Let us now try. Thorgray had no reason to kill someone who only had few months left to live. The poison she ordered was for rats. I've finished here. I must put the skeleton... I would like to congratulate Clark's gardener. What symmetry! April. I must put the skeleton key back and in... April. April. Perfect. Hello, Hastings. I have finished in Shurston. I will take the first train. Tell me, do you know how to restore writing on a burnt document?
Yes, you just have to soak a cloth with a hydrochloric acid solution and rub the sheet of paper. Then the characters appear.
Bien. You have been of great assistance, Hastings.
Of course, but what...
You will see, my friend.
Donald Fraser is here.
This man is tired. Donald is short of sleep, and it looks as if he didn't even bother to undress before going to bed.
Mr. Poirot, I don't know why I'm here.
I am not going to play games with you, Mr. Fraser.
You don't understand me. Mr. Poirot, since Betty's death, I've doubts about myself. I don't know what to do. And I keep having a horrible dream 3 nights in a row.
Have a drink and tell me about this dream.
It's always the same. I'm on the beach with Betty. I grab her round the throat, and I squeeze, and squeeze until she...
Have you seen Megan Barnard recently?
Yes, our grief has brought us together. I never really knew her before. She's She's really quite a remarkable girl. But I would never tell her about...
Why not? Is it her?
No, it's Betty. And once Betty is dead, it's Megan's face that appears, and it's...
Very. Let us now try and get our brain cells to... Mr. Fraser, I think that the real meaning of this dream is that you are in love with Megan Barnard.
Please go on.
This dream certainly betrays your guilt.
Oh.
But what do you feel guilty about? Having killed your fiancé? Possible. Or forgetting her very quickly for her sister?
So you don't really...
I do not exclude this theory. I am simply saying that I do not need to know that fact to explain your dream and your guilt.
Thank you for being frank, Mr. Poirot. You've helped me a great deal.
It is late, Mr.
I'll sleep on the train.
Poor boy, he's...
Well, women seem to like him. Oh, I remember.
Yes, we'll be receiving...
Bien, it is late, and I asked Miss Grey to come tomorrow morning. I have a few questions I wish to ask her. Mademoiselle, I asked you here in order to answer a very important question. Am I right in thinking you said that you did not speak to anyone on the day Sir Carmichael was murdered?
It's the absolute truth.
Yet, Lady Clark maintained that she saw you talking to a stranger on the front doorstep.
Really? She must have been mistaken. Oh, I remember now. I'd forgotten all about it, but it wasn't important. It was just a salesman. One of those traders who sell stockings from door to door.
Can you describe him to me?
Medium size, glasses, dark suit, and a felt hat. Not the sort of man you notice. Completely harmless. That's why I forgot all about him.
Nothing else?
He was very hesitant and shy. Usually door-to-door salesmen are very confident, but he wasn't.
You did not leave Churston willingly, I believe.
I don't wish to lie. Lady Clark did not appreciate my presence. And Franklin cannot go against the wishes of a sick lady. He is a good man, and he worries a great deal about his sister-in-law.
I noticed that you left some personal belongings behind at Churston. Are you planning on returning to Churston?
Who knows what the future holds?
Bien. I must ask you one last question. Please reply frankly with either yes or no. If Lady Clark had died, would you have agreed to marry Sir Carmichael if he'd asked you?
How dare you ask such a question? Sir Carmichael treated me just like his daughter. And all that I ever felt him was affection and gratitude, nothing else.
Thank you, mademoiselle. I will not keep you any longer.
I met Thora Grey on the stairs. Her cheeks were ablaze, and she appeared to be deeply hurt. Poirot, have you offended the poor girl again? Do you have good reasons for accusing her?
I accused her of nothing, Hastings. I simply asked her an important question she did not answer. Let us see if we can answer it for her. Let us now try. You must know how to read between the lines, Hastings. When Sir Carmichael refers to paternal affection, he is lying to himself. Read this engraving on the brooch.
What if Sir Carmichael had fallen in love?
True, there are extenuating circumstances. She is a penniless orphan. But she is calculating. Just look.
I see. You think she seduced Sir Carmichael for her own gain?
Do not get carried away.
Really?
Yes, would you believe that Miss Grey taught me something new? Let us now try. It's perfectly clear, Hastings, perfectly clear. Indeed, a stocking seller visited Andover, Bexhill and Churston on the day of each murder. We have our suspect. Chief Inspector, we are looking for a stocking salesman.
I see you have a suspect.
Yes. Contact all the stocking wholesalers who may employ him.
Your suspect is a salesman?
No, he does not take orders. He sells door to door.
Right. The hunt is on.
Are you leaving, Mr. Cust?
Yes, I'm going to Cheltenham.
You shouldn't travel today. You don't look very well.
I have to. I have engagements. I must respect them.
Can you get the post, eh?
And why don't you go and get it yourself?
Très bien. What's going on?
Are you...
Poor Mr. Poirot. I'm quite sorry for you. If at first you don't succeed, try again. We've a long way to go still. Typery? No, that comes later. Letter T. The next little incident will take place in Doncaster on September 11th. So long. ABC. I should compare this letter. Let us examine this. Certain characters in the... Yes, this eye is weird. Yes, the eye... I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory. Yes, That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other... The W is not printed properly. Of course, my theory was right. These two letters were written with the same... Hastings. Chief in...
He's on another line.
Yes, please, mademoiselle. It is from Hercule Poirot. Tell him ABC strikes tomorrow in Doncaster. He must call me back.
Very well, sir.
Bien, now I'm going to see what I can find from these burnt documents. I've received the product I need. Hastings, if you do not mind, I would like you to take a few notes.
Yes, yes.
I've finished with this up.
So, how are you getting...
Now, down. All of this needs putting in order a little. If someone has tried to get rid of... This piece should be placed here. This page is Child's Play. This page is finished. That's done. 3 more to go. This page will be reconstructed in a flash. This page is finished. And that's 2 done. It's easy. This page is Child's Play. This page is finished. Only 1 more. Keep going. This piece should be placed here. This page is finished. All the pages are reconstructed. A bottle of solvent. A bottle of solvent. A bottle of solvent. A dry cloth. A dry cloth. A bottle of solvent. A dry cloth. A bottle of solvent. If someone has tried to get a dry cloth. 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 A bottle of solvent. A bottle of solvent. A dry cloth. A bottle of solvent. The cloth is now soaked with Got it! Make a note, Hastings, make a note. Mrs. Alice Asher, shop owner in Andover. Tracheitis, hemoptysis, prescribed laudanum.
I got it. Poirot, where on earth did...
On a fire at the bottom of the garden at campsite.
All right, but where did the person...
Alice Asher, shopkeeper in Andover. Tracheitis. Betty Barnard, waitress in Bexhill. Chronic bronchitis. Alexander Bonaparte Cust. War wounded, mustard gas and head trauma. Pulmonary emphysema. Hemoptysis. Coughing fits with blood. Suffers from absences and amnesia. Dick Dudley Dunbar, owner of the Black Swan Hotel in Doncaster. Asthmatic, heart disease, heart condition. Let us now try and get out. The burned documents are medical records and without a doubt they come from Clark's archives. First of all, because all the patients have throat conditions. And secondly, their name starts with either A, B, C or D, and it is precisely the files that match these letters that have been tampered with.
But why burn these files? How come the names of the two victims appear on them? And who are the two other patients?
These are very good questions.
Hello, Poirot?
Any news?
You wanted a stocking seller? We have one. Reported by his landlady who thought he was behaving suspiciously. He has the most unbelievable name.
Alexander Bonaparte Cust.
Yes, Alexander Bonaparte Cust? How did you guess? Poirot, it's a serious lead. I called Doncaster. A person matching Cust's description has been seen at the station. He got off the train from London, but after that, no...
Look for him at the Black Swan Hotel.
What?
Trust me, Chief Inspector.
You appear to be very sure of yourself. Very well. I'll call the Black Swan straight away. The owner is going to get a shock when he learns that there's a murderer under his roof.
Do your best, Jack.
You can count on me.
Hastings, everything is at... So, has Cust been arrested?
Yes, the Doncaster police are sending him by train.
That is good news.
Well, when I told the...
Is dead?
No, fortunately, but it has taken its toll on him. It has to be said that with his name starting with the letter D, he had every reason to fear Cust. I bet he was going to be the next victim.
Come now, Chief Inspector.
You think so?
Of course.
While we're waiting to question Cust, we could search his room in
Where does it...
the Marbury Guest House.
I'll see you.
Yes, but start without me. First of all, I have to sort out a few details for...
I understand. Hastings, we are making good progress. Please go and search the room of our number...
With pleasure. I did have...
The dentist. So that is why you were so nervous and bad-tempered.
A visit to the dentist is never an enjoyable prospect.
But an unavoidable one. To Marbury Guest House, please.